I mean, we don't think of it now, but there's really some weird stuff going on when you start reading some of this law when it comes to working out about our ancient sites getting spoiled in quite recent times. We're not talking about Middle Ages or even before that. We're talking about 1954. We're talking about the Charles's mum, the Queen, Elizabeth II. We're talking about, within a grandparent's lifetime. There's some really odd things going on here in some of these laws by just the attitude. And none of us really know too much about the conquest, the Norman conquest. I mean, we don't really think about it too much. When you grow up in a world which appears peaceful to a certain extent and what we call normal, the status quo, natural subjects may inherit and make their title by ancestors born beyond sea. Natural subjects may inherit and make their title by ancestors born beyond sea. Okay, so if you're from this country, or if you live in these lands, you are allowed to inherit and make your title by ancestors born beyond sea. Well, what ancestors would you have born beyond sea? If it was Irish, that means that now that's a weird thing when you look at this other one here. Look, the king shall have the escheat of lands of aliens born, whose ancestors were not of his allegiance. The king shall have the estates of the lands of aliens born, whose ancestors were not of his allegiance. So basically, if someone's born and they're not from the country, or they're born it's to do with allegiance, not to do whether they're natural or alien. It's just to do with the allegiance. So that's purely on allegiance. So that means that that's how. I mean, that's the attitude they've got when they went off to America and Australia, didn't it? But a lot of these are from when this is like normal conquest, when they are taking over, working their way up the country, through Lancashire and, you know, the Lake District in Northumberland, and, you know, there's some opposition, particularly in Ireland, you know. This is where they get the basis from, the, you know, Gale delivery, you know, the Justices of Gale delivery. There's a meaning behind that, I think, to do with the Gaels, the Gaelic people. So basically, you know, people